They can't open up.
Right, I mean, he still hasn't opened up.
Okay, I guess it's time I sit in my seat. We get this called to order. Could we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I feel like you're talking to yourself. It feels like you're talking to yourself.
Could we have a roll call?
Sure. Mrs. Melissa Walker?
Here.
Mr. Mosier?
Here.
Mrs. McGinney?
Here.
Ms. Amy Walker?
Here.
And Mr. Wigton?
Here. We need a motion to adopt our agenda and the revised addendum.
So moved.
Second,
I'll second.
discussion? Vote, please.
Mrs. Melissa Walker?
Four.
Ms. Amy Walker?
Four.
Mr. Mosier?
4.
Mrs. McGinney?
Four.
Mr. Wigton?
4. We need approval of our previous board minutes for the July 15th regular meeting and the July 29th special meeting. Could I have a motion, please?
And there's one on the addendum.
Pardon?
And there's one on the addendum for the August
20th.
20th meeting. It's on the addendum.
I'm sorry, I can't.
On the addendum.
It's on the addendum, August 20th.
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed that. As you can tell. Yes, August 20th special meeting.
Make a motion.
Second,
Second.
roll call, please, or discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Mosier?
4.
Mrs. Melissa Walker?
Four.
Mrs. McGinney?
Four.
Ms. Amy Walker?
Four.
Mr. Wigton?
4. We have any visitors tonight we're recognizing? I don't see that we are. Our committee reports. Anything from the legislative committee?
No report.
Anything from the athletic board of control?
Yeah, I'd like to compliment the Madison coaches, Coach Myers and the coaches that put on the Richland County Cross Country Meet. I thought that was an excellent event, and they did an excellent job with their parents and the athletic department to get it going and kick off the cross country season. But also like to compliment all the coaches for fall sports and even the band and stuff for providing and getting the things done that they needed to be doing so these kids can have the opportunity. So I'd just like to tell everybody they did an excellent job doing that, and they got it going, and season's on the way. So great job, everybody.
Thank you. Student representative, do we have one yet? Not yet. Facilities report.
Good evening. Just a few things to report. First of all, to talk about, today was our first day with students, and it was, by everything I observed, a real success. And that's a testament to the principals at the buildings and the teachers and the staffs at each building that put in a lot of work and organization. And I think from everyone I talked to, they were really surprised with the way the kids responded and the way things went. It went extremely well. As far as the facilities, we've wrapped up all of our summer projects. Both roofing projects are done. The renovation of the phlebotomy lab that Mrs. Pluck secured grant money for is completed. There's just a few touches left on that. The Lincoln Heights painting project was finished, and cleaning and waxing project was done by custodians from the high school, middle school, and Madison South that all pitched in and worked extra for that, and ended up saving the district over $20,000 in what we had got quoted to have the work done. As we move forward, it's just a challenge, every day with the COVID and having the kids here, but the staff is doing a great job. The custodians especially are working extremely hard to disinfect as much of the building as we possibly can every night, and that's getting, of course, they're just starting, but we've been monitoring that, and we've got some equipment come in for that. We have more coming in each week, and we hope to get those processes and the equipment to help do more and more of the buildings every night. But we've set goals, and all the custodians, I went around and talked to each of them individually, and they all pledged to work overtime if necessary to make sure the buildings get taken care of, and they've all followed through with that. And I think it's something to be very proud of. Other than that, we've got the equipment which we previously purchased for the high school air conditioning project. Should be arriving any day now, and the work was bid out and awarded to Standard Plumbing. And it came in, altogether, we came in about $15,000 under what our projected budget for that work was. So as soon as the equipment comes in, we'll look for setting a good time. We'll probably wait until the weather cools off a little bit because the air conditioning will be down in that part of the building while we do it. But then we're looking forward to setting that schedule and getting that accomplished. That's all.
Thank you. Board Policy Committee, any?
Yeah, Mrs. McGinty and I met last Thursday with Mr. Peterson, Mrs. Klink, and Mrs. Lyons to go over the policies that you see under superintendent's business. Item 11 there are several policies. We had some really good discussion. We met for a couple of hours and really discussed some of the language that's in them. And yeah, so that's it.
Okay. Student achievement?
Nothing.
Okay. Superintendent's update.
Have a couple things to update, Mr. President. First off, just want to say we had a great opening day today. I was able to get out to all of the buildings throughout the day and especially observed the arrival of students this morning. And the students were in great spirits. The parents were in great spirits. I wondered if maybe their spirits were a little too high. I saw a couple of them just shove their kids out the door like they couldn't wait to send them back to school after being stuck at home for 6 months. So the kids were excited, parents were excited. We had staff, administrators, everybody welcoming the students. I was over at Mifflin, and all the teachers were out in the parking lot greeting kids as they arrived and welcoming them back. And it was just a nice feeling where everybody was excited and happy and looking forward to getting back into school face to face. I would just like to thank publicly all of our employees, the board as well. I think from teachers, administrators, custodians, bus drivers, the cafeteria workers, secretaries, aides, just everybody involved, and I hope I didn't leave anybody out, but really working well together as a team for the kids and to bring the kids back in a supportive way. And so just really want to thank everybody publicly for all the hard work that's culminated in what happened today and moving forward. Update on the online academy. We have that almost fully staffed now. We still are working on getting a second teacher for the students with disabilities in grades 5 through 7. They already have a regular academy teacher assigned to them. Now we're trying to finalize those teachers who will provide the support for their IEPs and to meet their IEPs and to provide them with the services that we need to provide them with. Most of the students, there has been communication between their academy teacher and the students, possibly not all of them, but the teachers are getting to them as quickly as they possibly can, and they're doing a great job with that. So those students, if they haven't already started with their online work, will be doing so very shortly. Just wanted to bring you up to date on Chromebooks too and where we're at with those orders. Mr. Barr was in touch with the groups today on those orders, and we're still looking at November as a delivery date. So for all the online academy students who needed a device. We have been able to provide that to them. That's leaving us a little bit shorthanded in the buildings, but we're making good progress with that, with communication amongst principals in buildings, trying to work together and make sure everybody has what they need for now. So hopefully those Chromebook orders will arrive, and then we'll be able to have a Chromebook for every student in the district. Mr. Rickert could not be here tonight, so I asked Mr. Conway to come in his stead and share some information regarding how we're handling spectators at athletic events, and also some live streaming that WMFD is working with us on. So I'll turn it over to Mr. Conway.
Thank you, Mr. Peterson, Mr. President, Board. I just want to tell you, I've been involved in some of the athletic meetings that Mr. Rickards had to go to, and just to say that he's put in a tremendous amount of effort would be a gigantic understatement. He has been working tirelessly to give our kids every opportunity to compete. In these meetings, they've been preparing for the governor's requirements of what would be spectators for the fall seasons. And as many of you know, those were released in the middle of last week, and we had to quickly prepare for our first soccer games, our first volleyball games, and upcoming Friday night football. So what the governor said was there will be no more than 15% capacity, and only loved ones and family members will be allowed to attend. So Mr. Rickert had to go out, he had to measure bleachers, he had to figure out what our capacity is at our venues. He began to mark off seats to ensure social distancing. And due to the limited seating at our soccer stadium, we had to end up moving all of our soccer games, or at least the vast majority of our soccer games are going to end up being moved to the football stadium so that the kids can play on the turf and more family members can come see them play. Because tickets can only go to family members, we had to use rosters, and we had to assign a certain number of tickets to each athlete. All soccer students, all soccer athletes are going to receive 4 tickets. Middle school football, 4 tickets. JV football, 4 tickets. But unfortunately, at varsity football events, because you also have the band and the varsity cheerleaders there, that's going to limit seating. So the varsity football players will only receive 2 tickets. The band will receive 2 tickets, and cheerleaders 2 tickets. Again, due to the amount of students that would be at that one event, that limits our ability to sell tickets. Also, being inside and ensuring that seats are 6 feet apart in our gymnasium, volleyball will also only be able to have 2 tickets at this time. Mr. Rickert has put up increased signage at both venues, floor markings. If you go to an event, you'll be able to hear, if you're able to get a ticket to go to an event, you'll be able to hear a lot of announcements over the PA, as well as we sent letters home, and we're using social media to get these protocols and these expectations out to our fans. One of the things that we're really trying to enforce is our mask policy. If you're going to attend a sporting event, you need to be wearing a mask or a facial covering. If you have a doctor's note, a facial covering. For those unable to attend, Mr. Rickert has worked out a solution. He's working with WMFD to live stream all our events. You can access this by going to the WMFD website. There'll be a live stream link where you can click Madison, and you'll be able to purchase and watch our games in a live stream format for $9.99 per stream. So $9.99 per stream of our live events. So trying to give all our families and all the people who might not be able to get tickets to games at least an opportunity to watch our kids participate on the field. And just like our reopening plan was to try to ensure as safe an environment as possible to give our kids the opportunity to come back to school, I think the plan for sports is also try to create as safe an environment as possible to make sure that our kids get the opportunity to play. So that's the athletic report as of right now.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's all I have, Mr. President.
Okay. Next, we have approval of donations. We have
We have Tim's presentation.
I'm sorry? Oh, presentation. I'm sorry. I guess I'm in a hurry tonight. I don't know.
I'll try to talk fast.
That's okay.
I'll take this off so I can see, or I can't. I want to talk to you about food service, looking back and moving forward. Okay, next one. For breakfast last year, we served, for breakfast, the yearly total was 79,812 students, and that was district-wide. That was a daily average of 614. For lunch last year, we served, the total for that year was 224,928 lunches, and that came to a daily average of 1,717 total daily average. Okay, showing a little angry here. March 12th, coronavirus struck, and March 16th was the last day for the students here. Go ahead. Everything changed. We were in lockdown, we had to adjust. We held meetings to make sure that we could make everything work out. Not just feeding the kids, but everything, teaching and well-being. We started feeding the kids on March 23rd, 2020. We had to make sure that we could get in shelf-stable food, milk, and everything we needed so that we could give a breakfast and a lunch to each student. Meals were transported by bus to students for 2 weeks. The meals that we served, the 7 days on the bus in March, we served 5,046 breakfasts, 5,203 lunches. That was meals daily was 728 breakfasts and 743 lunches, and that was split between two buildings, middle school and south. In month of March, we did 3 days on the bus, and then we did pickup at the middle school and south and Trinity Church. We served 5,010 breakfasts and 4,980 lunches. Total daily was 228 breakfasts and 226 lunches. In the month of May, we did a pickup at the middle school and south and Trinity Church as well. And that month, we only did 1,295 breakfasts and lunches. And that was just an average of 93 breakfasts and 93 lunches. That was also the month that we found out that we were able to supply a list of children that had free and reduced status. And we supplied that to the state, and they issued a $300 electronic benefit transfer card to each student in the district. And that came to 63% of the students here at Madison that benefited from that. So each one of the students received that. And that was based on information that we received from the state on a monthly report that I get, as well as on the free and reduced status based on information that they gave us through their applications. I wanted to thank everyone that helped feed the children. Food service didn't do this alone. It took many people to do that. It was the cooks, the bus drivers, the custodians, the teachers, the principals, the volunteers, all staff members, and it was support from the board members, community, parents, students, and vendors. This was a combined effort to make it work, not to just get meals to students, but to continue their education and be there for them. Facing a new year, everything has changed. We have learned to adjust to a different meal concept of grab and go, limited interactions with students for their safety and ours. We plan ahead so we are ready if we should shut down again. We're ready to feed kids here or during a lockdown. If a lockdown happens, we would like to plan to transport the meals on the buses because that was where we reached the most kids when we did before. Moving forward, we're keep feeding the kids the hot meals here as much as we can. We continue to plan on improving where we can to better serve the students, and we're prepared to, in case we need to shut down, to transport meals to the students. No matter what, we are here for the kids. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a lot of meals. Now, next, we have approval of donations. We have the 30 face mask shields for the Early Childhood Center, donation of $1,500 from the Mifflin PTO to the elementary. Also, the Catherine and Edward Losick Foundation for the Precision Machining Program, and Carrie and Christian Baker donating a refrigerator in Madison South. Do we have a motion for that?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Amy Walker,
4.
Mrs. McGinney,
4.
Mrs. Melissa Walker,
4.
Mr. Mosier,
4.
Mr. Wigton.
4. Treasurer's report. Do we have a motion to accept that?
Motion to accept.
Second?
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Mr. Mosier,
4.
Mrs. McGinney,
4.
Mrs. Melissa Walker,
4.
Ms. Amy Walker,
4.
and Mr. Wigton.
4. Next, item J, matters related to personnel. We have that on the main agenda and the addendum as well. Could I have a motion to accept that?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Discussion.
I have a question on E, under substitute teachers. It's on the addendum.
Okay. What's the question?
Just explain it to me. I mean,
Okay.
we have a teacher for that.
We have a teacher who is on paid administrative leave. So
Oh,
this,
okay.
this person is doing a
Oh,
long-term
okay,
sub
okay,
to
okay.
cover that position until that situation is resolved.
Okay, that's, okay. I wasn't thinking that position.
I would like to share a little bit. You'll see under retirement, Connie Cates is retiring after 33 years in the district. And she has, between being a student here at Madison and a teacher, she's about covered the gamut with our buildings. She taught in those 33 years at Lincoln Heights, South, Mifflin, and the middle school. And as a student, she attended Worcester Heights, Mifflin, junior high, and the high school. So it looks like the only buildings she missed out on were Eastview, Jesse Beer, and Woodville. So Mr. Muro has a blanket to present to Connie. Just like to thank her for her dedicated service to the Madison schools for 33 years. I know she was a great teacher and did a great job and had a huge impact on many of our students. So thank you, Connie, and congratulations on your retirement, and good luck.
She going to be a sub for us now?
She'll have to be a sub over at Eastview so she can get some time in over there. Okay, all right.
Any further discussion?
No.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Amy Walker,
4.
Mr. Mosier,
4.
Mrs. McGinney,
4.
Mrs. Melissa Walker,
4.
Mr. Wigton.
4. Item K, superintendent's business. Also, well, it's listed as superintendent's business, but it has the wrong letter beside it on the addendum. It should be K as well. A motion to accept that.
Make a motion.
I'll second.
Discussion.
The only item I will just share on is number 5 there. Allison Schleichert works for us, but she's employed through Mid-Ohio, and so that's the reason that we're getting her board approved to evaluate the preschool teachers at Madison South.
Okay. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Mosier,
4.
Ms. Amy Walker,
4.
Mrs. McGinney,
4.
Mrs. Melissa Walker,
4.
Mr. Wigton.
4. Item L, visitors' comments. I don't see anybody rushing the stage, so we'll move on to President's business. Our next regular meeting is September 30th, and we also have to appoint a delegate and an alternate to the OSBA annual business meeting.
Which is virtual.
But are we?
It's virtual this year.
Yeah, it's going to be virtual, so,
Count me out.
why? You know how to work the computer.
I am not going to be good at doing that one.
Okay. Would,
Does every district have to be represented to that?
I don't know that
Robin?
you have to have, do
I
you?
mean, I don't think it's mandatory, but we always have.
Is that an all-day meeting, I would assume?
No, I assume
Maybe an
it's
hour.
only going to be certain times, like
Yeah, certain times that you would have to for the
when they
business,
have,
business meeting and the
Right.
voting.
I think like the first day, it was the afternoon hour after lunch.
1 o'clock.
Yeah, and it ran for an hour, maybe. Didn't go over an hour, did it? I don't think.
No, it doesn't take long.
Is that something you'd like to do, Melissa?
I can, nobody else is volunteering, so
I'd be happy to
I'll
pass
take a
that
shot at
torch.
it.
It's on a Monday?
It's on a Monday.
Yeah.
Can you work your,
Yeah, I should be able to do that.
okay. Well then,
They have a thing at like 7:30
we are
in the
going to
morning.
appoint Melissa.
Tells you what's
You want an
going on,
alternate?
Do we need to vote on that, I suppose?
No, I don't think
Okay.
I have to vote on
And
it.
then the meeting.
What about an alternate? Do you want an alternate?
Alternate,
Oh, I can do an alternate, because Melissa's going to do it. Don't you bail on me, Melissa.
I'll do my best.
okay. And we also have our Records Commission meeting, and that's taken care of, so I need a motion to adjourn.
Wow, so moved.
Second,
Second.
discussion? Roll call.
Mrs. McGinney,
4.
Mrs. Melissa Walker,
4.
Mr. Mosier,
4.
Mrs. Amy Walker,
4.
Mr. Wigton.
4.
Like, what are we going to discuss?
Okay. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
For adjournment, that's what I.
Have a good evening.
No, I want to stay here for this thing.